and most importantly, my students. I struggled to write this speech for you tonight. You've heard me talk about my story. A lot of you know a lot about my background, about changing careers, following your heart, following your passion, not being afraid of when the dots don't exactly connect. Some of you who kept up with the readings might remember Levitt's research. Remember Stephen Levitt? Some of you? Well, one of the points was people who love what they do are often far, far more successful than those who are just inherently good at what they do. And I'm not up here to discuss the merits of changing careers or following your heart, following one's passion. Period 3, Hoffs. Where's Hoffs? Cat. I'm not up here to talk about Eric or his sod farm. Jack. Where's Jack? The rest of my period 4. I'm not up here to popcorn. Or JP to teach you about the dangers of vaping. Marco. Where's Marco? Yeah. Marco, I thought about passing around the proverbial ball, but we've done that. I thought about weaving in some highlights, or maybe even stealing some highlights from Michael Lewis's new book, The Undoing Project. And the more I thought about that, I knew Cushing, Booth, I knew you'd call me out on it, so I wasn't going to do that. And Shad, thought about just having you write this speech.
Oh my God.
And Ted's picked up every leadership opportunity afforded to him this year, and he's done an incredible job. Then I thought about sharing just some of my highlights from this past year, and there have been many. Nick Baso, Nick, that Frida Kahlo costume, unbelievable. Helping Dulce do her actual taxes, not fictitious taxes. Meg Peterson nominating me for the Crystal Apple Award, or being asked to throw out the first pitch on senior day. I think Blake, where's Blake? Was that not the best 25-mile-an-hour fastball you saw? I thought it was perfect. Well, I decided the speech isn't going to be about me or my thoughts at all. And sorry if when you asked, you wanted more of the Alvarez show. This year, I just couldn't do it. So instead, I thought you might want to hear from people far more interesting than me. People I admire, I respect, and that I find fascinating. So tonight, instead of droning on in a speech you'll never remember, in a format that some of you I know find about as fascinating as watching paint dry, well, I thought I'd shake it up a bit. We'll come full circle tonight. I'd like to share with you all my interview project. And for those of you who might not be familiar with my class, most of these students graduating here tonight have conducted an interview for one of their final assessments. Students were tasked with reaching out and interviewing someone in a field they're interested in pursuing. Students were given the chance to get out there, to look around, to kick the tires, to ask lots of questions. Because sitting down in the doctor's office and talking about their career path is far different than just going and getting a checkup. Then students had that chance to share their experience with the class. So students, I thought you might appreciate seeing me do a little homework tonight, since I've been dishing it out all year. So without further ado, my little interview project. Cue the deer. Anyone? Funny farm? Nobody?
Graduate of Laguna Beach High School, class of 2010. I'm currently a Lieutenant JG in the United States Navy, and I'm privileged enough to fly the F-18 Charlie. Graduates, faculty, parents, relatives, undergraduates, and we cannot forget about all the random old people that come to these types of things. Welcome and congratulations to the class of 2018.
So who are you? Joey Ravenna.
I'm Maxie Grasso.
My name is Savannah Johnson.
I'm Nick Carpino.
I'm Nils Wilson.
My name is Benjamin Sharp.
I am Charlie Hoffs.
What will you always remember about Laguna Beach High School?
I'll always remember the people at Laguna Beach High School.
The people.
Just the vast diversity of people here.
I think I'll always
Los Arena.
Good classmates, spending good time with friends, making new friends.
So what are some of your biggest hopes and fears moving forward?
Moving forward, I'm very afraid of probably just deciding on what I want my future to be because I'm a pretty indecisive person.
Fears is that I'll end up continuing my lack of motivation that I had in high school.
This guy is so funny.
My
Mills.
parents' inheritance.
Probably have to graduate
He's so
from
funny. He
college
did the
with a
drama.
master's degree in 4 years, which sounds very aggressive, and I'm afraid it might be overly ambitious, right?
My biggest hope is to learn as much as I possibly can and experience as much as I possibly can through, of course, through education and through my career, but also through traveling and meeting people. And my main fear is that I won't have enough time to do it all.
Wow.
Who in your life brings you the most joy?
Mills.
I don't know.
Mills is so funny.
I still might brother Kyle.
Mills is so funny.
He's a beam of sunshine. He's always smiling. He's always happy. He's always talking about golf and Tiger Woods and the next win that he'll
golfer.
get.
My grandma understands me on a level that nobody else does, and even though we rarely see each other, she lives in Arizona, and when she's not living in Arizona, she's traveling around the world. She's